Hi, good morning. I just stopped here. The reason why I stopped to see you guys was as I was passing by on my way to the gym, I saw your group and your signs and your flags. And I said that I have to stop because I see that these people here, these Chinese American citizens that are here with their flags and their signs asking and showing the world that they are willing to stand up to the Chinese Communist Party, that the Chinese people here in the United States who know what's happening in China, who are standing up for their families, their mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles who are still back there in China and who are suffering under the Chinese Communist Party and the corruption that the Chinese Communist Party is spreading around the world, that if these people are willing to stand up here in the United States, knowing the threat that their families are facing back in China, that if I see these people here standing in the street, then I'm going to stop and get out of my car and I'm going to stand with them, because all people around the world who are blessed to live under freedom and have liberty and have these people come and stand with us, then we have to stand with them. If we are fortunate enough to be blessed to live and have been born with freedom, and we know that there are people around the world who are standing next to us and asking us for our help, then we have an obligation, in my belief, in my heart, that we have to stand with these people and help them. And we see what China is doing to their own people, they want to do it to us. And we're watching right now what's happening in our country because of the corruption and the evil of China. And they've influenced, interfered, and they're trying to steal an election in the United States the same way that they deny the people of China their right to vote, their right to choose their leadership, their right to have freedom and democracy, and they want to try to do that to us here. And these people here, these Chinese American citizens that are standing up in public out here, probably risking their lives because the Chinese communists are probably watching them right now, okay? If they're willing to do that, then we Americans who have lived our whole lives with freedom and liberty, we have to stand up, because to fight and help and defend them is a fight to help and defend ourselves and to defend our country. If we're not willing to do that here and open our mouths and speak up to them the same way that these people are, then this world is in trouble. And it's not just here in the United States. We know it's happening all around the world. And the media in this country, as corrupt as the media in China, the media in this country that takes their orders from the Chinese Communist Party, trying to deny the truth to the American people and to the people around the world. If these people here, these Chinese Americans, know what's happening in their country, their families are there, and their families are suffering under that brutal communist regime, and these people are telling us here, you better wake up because it's coming here. It's already here. The media in this country will not let me get on the TV and say the words that I'm saying, but these people will. Isn't that ironic, America? The Chinese Americans who fled communism will stand here and let me speak to themselves, to their people. But the American media would never dare let a person like me, who knows what's happening in China, who knows what the Chinese government is doing around the world, not just in the United States, in Europe, in the European Union, in Australia, all over the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic, in Cuba, in Venezuela, in Ecuador, everywhere, in Argentina, all over Latin America, in Mexico. China has expanded into every country in the West, and that's their plan. And they have an American media that's supposed to be the model for free speech and for news, for the media, to hold politicians accountable. The Chinese Communist government has put them into their pocket. And the American media is complicit in helping China cover up the crimes and the human rights violations, the slave camps that they have, the brutality that they have, the slave labor that they have been using and abusing their own citizens for centuries. And these phonies in the American media are covering it up and lying. And it takes Chinese Americans who fled communism to give me the opportunity to speak and so that other people can hear me? What does that tell us, America? We have a big problem with the American media in this country. They are working against us. They are working against liberty. They are working against freedom, and they are working against the truth. And why are they doing it? For money. They're doing it for money. That's all they care about. Their greed. They would rather to see billions of people around the world suffer under the boot of tyranny as long as they can line their pockets and live the lifestyle that they want to live, while the other people struggle to feed their mouths and put clothes on their back. No, we're not going to have it anymore. I told this group of people here that I don't know even the single name of one of them. As I was passing by and I saw these people, I'll be back. I will be back with my flag, and I will bring more people back next week so that I can stand with these people and let them know, because you know what? They're standing with me. I work in the medical field as a technician. I'm retired from my first career, which is a policeman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I have been paying attention to my whole life since I was 20 years old. I've been paying attention to and witnessing the corruption that I've seen particularly in New York, where we all live, but from the political system in New York City and in New York State, where I'm from, and then in the country. I've been watching this since I was a young kid, and I know what's happening. And because I got to witness it firsthand, having been in the middle of all of this as a cop in New York, I understand what's happening. I'm able to see and identify crime, corruption, and abuse when I see it. I know what it is. And now today, as I look around the world at what's happening, as I pay attention, not just here, but around the world, but more importantly for us right now, right here, I see the corruption, it's as plain as day. I see the crime, it's as plain as day. I see the abuse as plain as day. And I see the Democrat Party in this country that is under the thumb and on the payroll of the Chinese Communist Party. And they don't deny it. They don't even deny it. I see the effects of what that does to freedom and liberty, and we have to stand up to it. Say what I say, and I'm as sincere as I am, because it comes from my heart. I pray for the people of China. I know that they're suffering, and I can imagine what must it be like for the people of China who have lived generation after generation suffering under a tyrannical government and living under corruption and being used and being enslaved by their politicians. To me, I thank God that I was born here and have been blessed not to have to live under that. At least not to the extent that the Chinese people and other people around the world who've suffered under communism and have not had the blessing of living under freedom and democracy. I'm blessed. And if I'm blessed and I'm fortunate enough for that, and I have the opportunity to stand up and support the people and try to help the people by speaking out who are unfortunate that they have to live under that, I have to do it. It's in my heart. It's in my heart. And I pray for the people who are suffering, that suffering is alleviated. That's why I speak out. That's why I care. That's why anybody who talks to me knows I'm not just talking. I mean it. I'm sincere. And so are all the people that I know, that understand what's happening, feel the same way. We care, we're outraged. We do not want to see people, not only ourselves, not only for us, we won't tolerate it for us. We're going to fight for our freedom. But we don't want any other person around the world to have to live that way, because it's not necessary. And that's not what God wants for the people of this world. People are supposed to be free. They're supposed to have liberty. They're supposed to have their human rights and their dignity. And they're entitled to it. It's their right as a human being. And so we can have a right to health care, then people can have a right to speak. Then people have the right to meet and assemble and to say what they believe. And people have a right to their liberty, to their freedom, to do what they want to do, to say what they want to say, without any government threatening them or their family members. This is what it's about right here. These people here who are doing what they're doing should be allowed to do this without the fear or the threat that someone's watching them and someone is going to come later and get them. We don't live in a country like that unless we let them do it to us. The people of China that left China left because they can't do that. They have to come and do it here for their people that are back home in China, for their families, for their loved ones, for their mother and father, or maybe their brother and sister that's still back there. So that's why I'm here. This is real.